let's talk now a little bit about the approved maintenance program, just for awareness. To ensure the realization of the inherent safety and reliability levels of the equipment, we have a maintenance program. The manufacturer supplies the operator with technical information on how the equipment works, and we use this to put together a scheduled maintenance task which do two things: to restore safety and reliability to the inherent levels, and also to promote the effective prolonging of the life of the aeroplane whenever possible. So the two reasons we do maintenance is for economic reasons and for safety reasons, and that's what we're talking about there. And when we develop our maintenance program, we have to go through an MSG process, and we're not going to go through it now, just to make you aware what happens. In actual fact, the MSG 3 process, which has been around now for more than 30 years, from the beginning of the 1980s, we've had the MSG 3 process, MSG 2 for most of the 1970s, and it works very well. It's been modified several times, it works very well, and it's good to know what is happening. It's good to know, for example, that the aircraft maintenance program is not necessarily generic, it belongs to the operator. We can't mix and match, and we're not supposed to use other people's maintenance programs. We're supposed to use our own maintenance program, which is based on the MPD. After that, we can vary it, but a number of times you see maintenance programs that were created by other organisations being used, and it's not necessarily correct. Okay. As a result of investigations, the airline may need to adjust its maintenance program, provide additional training to its personnel, or adjust its parts control procedures. So what we see in actual fact is that there is a reason to connect the data that comes from the maintenance inspections with the maintenance program. And how that data flows depends on what the operator and the Part M organisation requires. So for example, it is okay, as we said, for the continuing airworthiness records to be transferred to the operator, and for the rest of the records to be retained by the maintenance organisation. But the rest of the records contain information relevant to the effectiveness of the maintenance. Means defects arising. So if the reliability system is not paying attention to defects arising, how is it able to assess the effectiveness of the maintenance? So again, there's a number of issues going on here, looking at what the reliability system is doing. The simplest reliability system, all it does is look at PIREPs. The next level of reliability system will also start looking at strip reports. When we go to another level, we start looking at maintenance check findings. And many companies are not really paying attention to reliability driven by maintenance check findings. Coordination with other operators. A joint effort to resolve the problem usually results in a redesign by the manufacturer, and so on and so on. What we're talking about here is that based on experience, the OEM will look at the number of failures and use that as source information to generate service bulletin modifications, and so on and so on. When we talk about the reason for maintenance, it took a long time to understand what maintenance actually is. And as I said, the maintenance is done for two reasons: to prolong the economic health and well-being of the aeroplane or to maintain the safety level of the aeroplane. This is the reason we do maintenance. And that's what we're saying here. Do not do any more maintenance than you have to. Doing something twice instead of once is not better maintenance. Do not do any less maintenance than necessary to meet these levels. In other words, a good maintenance program to be effective must provide the airworthy vehicle to the operations department at reasonable cost. There is no benefit in adding additional tasks which would increase maintenance costs without a corresponding increase in reliability protection. And sometimes when you look at a maintenance program over some years, tasks are added. Something is forgotten and they say, okay, let's put that on the maintenance check. So we add a task and then something else and we add a task and we add a task. And these tasks are driven by a gut reaction rather than, let's say, the pure need. Okay, not going to spend too much time on this, just showing a connection between the maintenance program, the information that comes into the maintenance program coming from the vendor, coming from the regulator, coming from the reliability program, the maintenance review board report through the MPD and ADs. All of these come together, the service bulletins, service letters and so on.